To prepare for your final notebook evaluation, take a look at the sample notebook evaluation sheet. It lists all of the assignments, the samples that were done in class, with the date they were done, and the possible points they could receive. Then, on the bottom, it talks about preparing a sample page. And on your sample page, you want to include three things. You want to include the course, your name, and the semester. If you like to add some artwork, you can do that, but at the very least, just have those three items on there. Then, it asks you to mount all of your samples, and we'll take a look at them in just a minute, in order that we did them. And then, the page should have three items on it. The sample name, your name, and the date it was done in class. Each assignment had a sample page with it. If you have a printer problem, you can make your own page by putting the sample title, your name, and the assignment date on a piece of paper. Notice that they're printed very neatly and underlined, and that's how you should try to do them. Now I'll go over the order that the assignments were done. The first assignment that we did was the Singer sewing papers, and there were 4 of them. These do not need a sample page. These are just going to be put into your notebook just like this. The next assignment was your sewing samples, and these should be placed on the sample page in a cascading order so that you can see all 3 of them. Then we did the Sew Crazy. The next sample was a regular seam, a plain seam with a zigzag seam finish. Then we did pattern marking, and the pattern markings you can just attach to the assignment sheet. There's no other sample page that you need to have for this. The next assignment were the 2 darts, the double pointed and the single pointed. You put them on one page. Then we did convex and concave seams, and they fit on one page. The 2 hand stitches, the whip stitch and the slip stitch, can be placed on one page. The buttonhole sample that you did to learn how to use the buttonhole on your sewing machine can be placed on one page. And all you had to complete was one buttonhole. The next sample was sewing on a button. You just need to put that on a page. Then we did 4 seams, and the size of them means that each one needs to be put on a separate page. This is your plain seam. The next seam was the double stitched seam. Then we did the French seam. And then the flat felled seam. Then we did 2 seam finishes. The first seam finish was a zigzag again. And the next seam finish was the clean finished, also called the turned and stitched. And these all have a separate page. Then you did a centered zipper sample. And the last sample we did was the gathering. And that completes all of your assignments, and that's the way we'll look at them when I meet with you to grade them, by putting them together. Next we'll talk about how to put them into a binder with page protectors if you're able to do that.